Was he like yesterday for Stevie?
Was he? Fuck.
Yeah, give him low.
Fucking hell, lad. You went away for Stevie yesterday, was you? I used to be alright on Twitter and then I had to get off it. I put a few tweets out at the early hours in the morning. Off for toilet, off sort of straight outside the training ground. United.
When I put it on, I smell mean.
This episode is sponsored by That Prize Guy. Visit www.thatprizeguy.co.uk. So we start off. Today we're joined by Everton, Manchester United and England legends Wayne Rooney.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for coming, mate.
Yeah, good, all good.
How have you been?
Good, mate.
No, I didn't want to say
sat
them
here,
clubs,
sat here a while waiting to get started. Someone was late, but yeah, but no, all good.
I still walked into a coffee. Welcome to our world, always late. Everton, all the time.
You're meant to set the example for them.
I've organised Everton, set it all up. All they have to do is turn up, and then they turn up and still moan. You know what I mean? It's hard, mate.
You set that example, we've all been for.
What's been happening anyway? Yeah, what's going on with retirement or after the football?
Yeah,
obviously, management. There's a lot going on in the podcast as well.
Yeah, I tried a bit of management, 4 teams, and yeah, probably. I doubt I'll go back into it. Yeah, I doubt it.
Prefer the punditry and that, like?
Yeah, it's obviously easier, but I knew I took tough jobs on as well. I always like to take a challenge and never paid off. So went to TV, so do Match of the Day, Amazon.
You've got similarities with him in a sense that you're not really loud. You don't really speak as much. He's silent anyway. But when you do speak, I'm not blowing smoke with you, you're a good pundit. You know, obviously know your stuff from playing and from managing as well. Have you found that you've took to it easy with the punditry?
No, I think it's talking about football. You know, if you're talking about boxing, if you know what you're talking about, then obviously it's easier then. But I think with punditry, what I've always tried to be is honest. And people like it, people don't like it. Obviously, there's a few things over the last few weeks with Liverpool, which I felt a scene coming with Van Dijk or with Salah, which has happened recently. And then now they've actually come out where they both haven't been at the best, and Salah's been dropped. Obviously, Liverpool are in the situation they are, and I think if I feel that, then
you'll say it.
I have to say it, yeah, because otherwise, if you're at home and you're watching, you'd rather someone tell you the truth than try and cover things up.
I get a little bit of stick on the punditry and the commentary. You say like a bit like negative or whatever, and I have to give me point. I try and give it away in a sense that I'm not being disrespectful, and it's the truth. But I think about the people, my peers on the couch watching me, thinking, stop talking shite, or at least he's speaking sense. Yeah, same with you, like Van Dijk. He's obviously come over and had a little chat back,
which is good. I like that.
Yeah,
I think
it was good telly.
I was happy he come over, and because I've obviously been there as a player as well, and it's not nice when you're pundits or you're ex-players, you know, talking not great about you. So, and I think you should have your own opinion as well. But I stick to what I said. The toughest part was Man United. Yeah. Obviously, Man United going through, being better of late, but going through a tough period, and then having to speak and be honest on what was happening there, which I was as well, and especially I've got 2 boys in the academy as well, so that was tough for me to.
And I think it took, even now Carragher's doing it to Liverpool, any Carragher's slaughtering the Reds, like Kanate and Salah.
But it does hurt as well.
You've got to save it. Yeah, exactly.
Carragher being, obviously, I know he was an Everton fan when he was young, but being a Liverpool legend, when you see stuff like what happened with Salah, or you see players maybe not trying as hard, Carragher's whole career, and I'm sure he'll say he weren't as talented as Steven Gerrard was, but
Gerrard said to us, that's what Steven said. Like,
but he worked hard, he gave everything every day, and so when he sees someone not doing that, it's going to be tough for him to hold.
Do you think that's why you players like yourself? Listen, you had the skill and the ability as well, but you had bags at that, and same with fighters. I think you're respected, appreciated, admired, and loved a bit more if you leave everything on the line and you put it all on the line. And
well, I was speaking to my eldest boy yesterday, just talking about his time at Man United now, because he's at an important stage of his career, and I said the biggest compliment I get is when fans come up to me and say, do you know what, I loved everything about your game, but the one thing I really liked was your work rate. And that's a skill in itself, a talent in itself, to work hard every day in training or at games. So that's what I actually get the most pleasure out of when people say that, because your ability on top of that will help you go so far.
I say that in boxing, like people going about like talent and ability and all that, but like I think working hard and being dedicated and doing a training camp, that's a talent within itself. So it means people say, oh, he's a bit more dedicated, he could have achieved more or he underachieved it. I think hard work, especially in the pro game, is a talent in itself, to being able to put yourself through it and keep doing and dedicate yourself. That's just as important, especially in the pro game. As,
That's what he's doing now.
The city we're from, I think, more so than a lot of other places, it's sort of like a requirement. Like Scousers will back you if you chase every ball. You don't look like the likes of, no disrespect to him, like Dirk Kuyt, like a Liverpool legend, and he chased every ball and run after everything, and his effort was 100% every game, and he was adored by the fans. And if Scousers will see someone get on the pitch and give everything he's got, they'll back him and go on, lad. You know what I mean?
How old's your oldest?
He's 16 now.
16,
yeah, so he's at an important age. They've already offered him a scholar, and then just see what happens, whether that gets turned into a pro or...
Doing well commercially as well, isn't he?
Or whatever.
With Puma team, like,
yeah, no, he's obviously with Puma, but... So when he plays for the under-16s, he can't wear, which I really like from Man United, he can't wear his Puma boots. So all the academy have to wear the same...
I'll do the, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
So, and why they do it is because there's people from areas where they can't afford certain boots, and so I think it's really good to do that. But when you go, he's played a few times for the under-18s, he can then wear his Puma boots. So it's good. And he's doing well, to be fair to him.
That sort of brings me on good to you to the first question. To be honest with you, with you know, obviously your background, or it's like legends in the city. But how do you find it watching your son? Do you feel like it's overcritical, or do you just let him enjoy it?
No, I try and be detailed in what I say to him. I think because he needs to learn himself as well. I think that's important. And what I don't want to do is confuse him as well, because I don't know everything his coaches are telling him. So I don't want to try and overstep that, and I don't see all his training sessions, don't see all his games as well with the work I do. So I try and just be detailed on certain things and ask him questions as well. I think that's important. So what do you think? And let him talk, and then try and just pick him up on a couple of things.
What would you do in this position in order to see where his mentality is?
So,
at, see how he's thinking?
And on the TV as well, I think when I'm watching a game with him, there's little details of movement which you usually see in boxing, you know, someone slipping a shot or certain ways of doing stuff, whatever. There's little details in a little movement which I tell them they're the details which make a big difference.
We do say that because in football, look, there's obviously at the top level, there's thousands of people watching it. At the kids playing football, there's always a line of people or parents watching and stuff. But with boxing, you find the coaches work on something in the gym. It gets right through the training, right to the fight. And as they get to the fight, the kid's dad sitting in the front row having a nail with his mates, and the dad starts shouting, "Throw that right, too, throw that right." So the kids end up standing having a scrap, and everyone goes out the window. So it's sort of different in that way in a fight, because the kids start listening to the parents. But I should think with yourself, obviously.
How much can you say in the ring?
Certain voices.
Yeah, there can be thousands screaming. Yeah, I can hear these three clear as anything, and the coach as if they're just talking. Yeah, it's weird. Like
for a lot of time,
you
isn't
end
it?
up training yourself to hear a certain voice. But here's a funny one for you. Every single time I got chinned on a chin, got hit hard and got buzzed, and you got that little bit of deja vu, which you get when you get rocked or buzzed. I think we've all had it around the table. I think you've had it as well in games where you've had the elbow or the head or in a bit of sparring in the kitchen. You start hearing voices from when you first got it. I used to hear Joe. I used to hear this fella's voice. He's been gone for years, but I'd hear him shouting whenever I get buzzed. And it's from the first time I ever got it as a schoolboy. And you start hearing certain voices, but you can always hear individual. You listen for your coaches, and these three are just ingrained in you. You can hear them. And the odd loud one, the crack used to always be the ones who hear his voice all the time.
You do find though, don't you, when you're switched on and you're in the zone, you can't hear nothing. But then sometimes the ref will say break, you'll walk away, and you're not switched on, you'll hear, right, Stephen, keep your hands. And when you can hear the voices, you think, I'm not switched on here, I've got to get back into it, you know what I mean? It's probably might be similar.
I used to say about playing football, and people say, how do you play in front of 75,000 or whatever, and the noise from it, whatever. But the best way I could describe it was, which I've said before, is it's like you're playing underwater. And everything's muddled, and so you don't really hear anything, and then when the goal goes in or you score, it's like you're coming up for a breath, and then you hear all the crowd and stuff.
You know the difference with yours though, the difference with ours, very, very rarely you'll have people shouting abuse at you in a boxing fight, unless you're in, you've had
Yeah, just give your opponent, don't they, rather than,
I couldn't handle a football as me, someone calling you a knob in the crowd and all that, all fucking...
I'll take that if you called it a lot worse than that.
Surely, you probably hear that more on...
Do you know what? It's not on the pitch. It was harder as a manager than it was as a player, yeah, because you're not playing, and so it's not so much on the pitch. It's like, you know, when you're walking into the stadium and they're there. And they're like right in your face to say it, and you've got to hold yourself.
I think surely you have like some switch off periods in the game, and I don't mean that like you switch off, but I mean obviously when the ball's kind of like, don't know where it even went, the opposition at left hand corner. Do you know what I mean? You're as a striker, you maybe
physically you can. And the older you get, the more experience you get. You learn how to rest, like usual rest in the ring at times, and as well. You learn how to do it, but then it's such an important time as well, because if you win the ball and your team have been defending, you're playing as a forward, you need to be ready to hold the defender off, get in front of him and hold her up, otherwise your teammate will back defend again. So physically you can, but mentally your concentration's got to be...
No, back on the managing. You would manage again though, wouldn't you?
I definitely would, if the right thing come up, but I wouldn't, you know, put myself in situations where, like, I went to DC or lived in Plymouth, lived in Birmingham, and lived away and missed a lot of my kids' football and stuff. So that means it has to be the right thing, and then for it to be the right thing, I'm realistic as well. With the 4 jobs I've done, is that going to come up? Which I doubt it. So
it's tough though, Nick, because if a manager's getting a chop, he's getting a chop because they're struggling. So it still have to, like, you have to probably see the budget, their intentions, if everything.
Yeah, but I think that's where, like, I knew with DC, that was more of an experience, and to go out there and develop myself in coaching.
You just jumped things you want to
and
manage.
the Plymouth one was, I knew that the budget, we had the lowest budget in the Championship, so I knew that was going to be tough. I thought that investors were going to come in, which never ended up happening. And then also with my name as well, if it's not going well, it becomes bigger in the media, and then it puts a pressure on owners as well. So I understand all that, and so at the minute I'm happy just doing the TV work.
Here's one for you then, same question, maybe a little bit without being disrespectful, but when you coach teams, especially not just after it, did you ever get frustrated because you think, I could put my boots on, I'll be better than you? Know what I mean?
Actually, when I was at Derby, I joined in.
Yeah, I remember that.
I joined in, and I actually put one of my players out for 8 weeks. I went in for a 50-50. And we weren't even a bad tackle, but we just got in, and he done his ankle. I was like, oh my God, can't do it. So I've joined in a few times when we need to play, which a lot of managers do as well, but yes and no.
Yeah, because you said the same. You said you'd struggle, like, coaching someone, like
couldn't get it, do you know what I mean?
But it's understanding that, and I know the players who have coached couldn't do some of the things I could do, but what they can do is a 10-yard pass to someone's feet, to the right foot. So when I go back to the details, that's a detail and it's a concentration thing, because if I set a session up for under 10 team to do a passing drill, and you say, right, I want the right tempo, I want it to the right foot, 9 times out of 10, the kids can do it. So for professional footballers, all it is they think it's too easy and they lose concentration, they get sloppy. So that's the part which you get, because you know they can do it. It's just being too casual.
Similarities to boxing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We were saying today, and Colin was saying, you two now...
I'm not a coach, but yeah, I agree.
You two can coach.
I'm coaching fighters now, and I might tell them to do something what was basically easy for us to do, and then they don't do it so well, and it's a bit frustrating me. You're like, come on, just lift their head and then do that, and when they're not doing it, it is a bit frustrating, but
it's the same for him at the standard of the players
around
him.
The level he was at, always different again.
But that's why the younger players that give debuts in the MLS for a 15-year-old, starting at centre-back, to a 15-year-old at Birmingham, and I think he might have been 15 or 16 at Plymouth. I give them all a debut in first team football. And the reason I've done it is because I'd sit the team down and say, right, you need to train as you play. You need to train hard and train well. If you don't, you're not going to get in the team. Or if you do, I don't care if you're 15, 16 or 30. That's how you get in the team. And I have to be true to my word on that, because if I don't, players will see that and then they'll start dropping off a little bit. So
that is the same in the boxing. And then we always say, I always try and say it all the time, if you don't go there in training, you can't go there fight night. You can, if you don't.
Is training that hard in the fight, is it?
Sparring, sometimes you spar better opponents sometimes, when especially when you're starting out. If you're starting out as a young kid, we used to all spar each other, so your sparring partners are better than some of the fellas you're fighting, but it's more controlled in the sparring, there's bigger gloves on obviously, but variety-wise, shot selection, technique, speed, power, sparring partners are sometimes better than your opponent.
If you've got a title fight of 12 rounds, right, you're not going to get very, very, very few people will go, I'll come and spar for 12 rounds. So basically what you do is you get 2 to do 6 each. So when you're sparring your 12 rounds, or sometimes 3 doing 4, isn't it? But you're sparring fresh opponents, so that's different. You're 8 rounds in and a kid's getting in fresh for the last 4 and you're thinking, and he's coming at you and he's getting paid, so they're putting it on you. So that can be different, and you do know in your own fight, look, he's the same as me, he's going, when I'm getting tired, he's going to be getting tired. So that's a bit different, but you do try and prepare for better than what you're going in with. So you're thinking, if I'm doing it in the gym, it'll be easy on the night.
Yeah, full camp is hard. You twice a day stuff and all that. The track after the sparring session.
Like mentality and mindset in it.
You do a 12
to
round
get
spar,
through it.
so what we're saying here, you do a 12 round spar with probably 2, maybe 3 opponents. You know, have your dinner, have a couple of hours chill, and then you've got a tough track session. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The next morning you wake up, you feel like you've been hit by a bus.
Do it again.
I'm in the gym for 10. Do you know what I mean?
That was me when I signed for DC as a player. Went over, it was in the middle of the summer, and the team were away in LA. So I had you were there, Joe, weren't you? I had a 4-day like blast with the young lads, and it was like 90 degrees. Humidity was high. I remember walking off, going back to the hotel where I was staying. I was like, mate, what am I doing? I don't think I can do this.
We went over to see him in DC, me and our Paul, and it was like 100 degrees at the time. As we say that story about him ordering 3 coffees at the front of the queue, like, 3 coffees please, and the woman goes, can I have a name please? And he looked at me, smiled, and he went, Wayne. She went, Dwayne, and he went, no, Wayne.
You could never get me name. In the end, I used to say Ian. Because I'd say Wayne and then he'd come back with win, one.
You always call me Caleb, don't you? 'Cause I always get Caleb. I was like, can't you just get Caleb? I was like, yes, I call you Caleb all the time.
Speaking of DC, how was your trip to the White House with Trump?
Yeah, no, it was mad, to be honest. It was, I got a message asking could I go over and give us his son Barron a lesson. So I said, yeah, no problem. So DC actually weren't happy with it because I think they wanted to stay away from more politics and stuff. But I was like, I'm not passing that up. So I went over, he had a full-size goal in the White House Gardens, about an hour with him. I was with me teammate from DC as well, Steve, American lad, good lad, helped me massively over there. And then done the session, so then he said, do you want to come up see me dad in his office? Yeah, no problem. It was mad. So then it was all Secret Service, and then you could hear them blowing through saying we're bringing sharpshooter up the lift, so they give you a name and that. So anyway, went up. So I'm in the next thing, I'm in the Oval Office talking to the president. Like, this is like.
Have you ever golf for him? Yeah.
And then after that, he invited us back over Christmas. So I went back with Colleen and the 4 kids to the White House, which was mad. And then went to play golf at his course. But that was mad because you had Giuliani behind us in a buggy. There's snipers everywhere. There's Escalades with big...
There's about 100 buggies just following you.
Yeah, big... I mean, mate was over from Manchester as well, and he was like, what is going on here? But it was mad. It was surreal.
That's what football does to you in all sport. It'll take you, like, especially you, the life you've had, the places you've been, especially from here.
Yeah.
From Crocky.
How did you find it in America, like the difference?
It was. I enjoyed it because if you go in as a player, when you go in as one of the DP players, I think if you can stay humble with it and appreciate your teammates, you'll be okay. Because I went in, I would never wear any jewellery, watches or anything, because I had teammates who were on 30 grand a year, who were playing, and then so you go in and just put yourself into it. So they offered you, the DP players can fly first class whenever you're flying, and you share a room, and you can have your own room when you go to hotels. So I said no to 2 of them. So the lad I mentioned, Steve, I shared the room with him and flew back to the plane with them. And after the first flight, I was like, what have I done? I was in the middle seat. I was just like, what have I done here? But then I think you get respected for that as well. And I know players who've been out there and complete the opposite way and whatever. So
it's in you that though, and I think you're either that type or you're not that type. It's how you've been brought up as well. One of the best things I've ever seen in my life in football, and I'm not just saying it because you're here, was that when you ran back, won the ball at DC, and he scored, and at the end, and you just like sat.
It was what was it? We were drawing the game 2-2, and then I'm about to go in the penalty area to try and get my head on the end of the corner, behind the corner. And see that keeper run past me, and I was thinking, what's he doing? Like if we lose the game, then it was like 94 minutes. So I was like, what? So I thought, no, I'll just stay at the edge of the box and anticipate if it gets. And the player he took an extra touch, which I'm thinking if he takes a touch, then I'm taking him out or I'm winning the ball. And that helped. And thankfully the ball just fell for me. And it was the lad's hat-trick, Luciano Costa, who scored. It was hat-trick, so we won the game.
Especially after that run. The best part was after the goal. As soon as the camera goes back on, you're like...
No, because the flag went up. The linesman put his flag up. And he put his flag up. So that's why I was saying he put his flag up. And then it went to VAR. And I think it was offside, actually. But they didn't have an angle. The VAR weren't as... So they never had an angle, so the goal stood.
Boss Stadium, that as well.
It's nice, it was new. That was the opening of the game, was my first game.
Bet you enjoyed that part of it though, fucking people asking what name are you, what's your name?
Yeah, do you know why you get recognised a lot more than you probably think over there.
But not as bad as over here, obviously.
And then when I went back the second time, where I lived, it was like a small little community, and I lived in this like close, and there was a woman who worked for the FBI, there was all different, all the lady worked for the FBI, and there was all different like politicians or whatever living round, so I knew the close was safe. That's important with the gun situation over there as well. I think that was important. But one thing that I hated, when like if you go to a basketball game or hockey or whatever, and every time they come up and put the camera in your face and put you on the bit, and you know what to do. I'm sat there and I'm just like, hello.
There's no worse though in here, and it's just the camera there. Even the boxing they do it to us.
He starts the shadow boxing and all that when it comes on Liam. Liam loves it.
Callum's on. It's watching you in Arizona. You're just there and the camera's next to Callum. Can you stay on the camera?
Yeah, they done it at the Tom Aspinall fight a few weeks ago. And again, as you're there, and like Steve Harvey sat here, and you've got all like famous people. I'm thinking, just leave me alone, man.
I'm always eating when it goes on me. I've always got a pie in me mouth.
I got to a match of the day years ago when I was suspended, I think. And the camera went up. I was in the box at Old Trafford, the camera went up. You see me pouring a pint into a coffee cup. Showed up a match of the day. Yeah, good to, yeah.
Do you like doing the match of the day whenever you get asked? BBC
yeah, no,
stuff?
I've signed up with them, yeah. So just historically, it's growing up, obviously, for all of us, that's what you watched, and now obviously there's different outlets where the games and that on, but I still, so I've spoke with all the different networks, and I just think historically Match of the Day was the one which thinking to be a part of that.
Me as a Liverpool fan, and not necessarily, you're a football fan, you'll watch any game. I won't. I watch Liverpool, but I watch Match of the Day every week. I make sure I make a point of putting it on, and the Sunday one as well, in case we play Sunday, because there's two now. But I that's the only way I sort of keep on top of the other games on the footy and watch the highlights. But I watch it for the punditry. I watch it for them breaking the game down for me, so I understand it a lot more, because I'm not an expert on football. What you were saying before about the boxing, it's handy when you're watching football with a footballer.
You know what? It's I'm new into this part of my career, so I know I need to improve. They've got loads of room to improve as well, because it's hard. Match of the Day is hard. You don't have that much time to do. And the ones who've been there, like you look at Shearer, for instance, Danny Murphy as well, for instance, whatever. they've done hundreds and hundreds of shows, and so they know when to put the pauses in, when to do things. Where that's still stuff which I know I can improve on, and I want to improve. So it's just time and the more you do, really.
Do you enjoy that side of it now? Because like you definitely didn't at the start. Like you hate interviews. Do you know what I mean? You're not one for interviews and like.
I just come out of school and was in a press conference. I was like,
You were young, no?
You know, Wayne, did you have a great game there? Yeah. Nothing else after.
we were, when I was 19, that Commonwealth Games team got a little bit of media training. We did like 2 days, and he just explained it to us, and it was try and keep your answers like 30, 45 seconds, try and do this, try and do that, try not to do that, and it was easy, but it helped loads. It was one little small lesson, and it helped so much. But training wise, like I don't think anyone would need much, but it's how you are as a person. You're similar to him. He'd rather not do an interview.
yeah, well, it was Guy Neville actually gave me some advice on it years ago when I joined Man United, and it was really good advice. It was whenever you go into a press conference, it's your press conference. You get out there whatever you want to get out, and it was really good actually. And then I've done a few more, and you learn how to answer questions without actually answering them.
And in boxing, like fight week, you ask the same questions a lot, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it becomes easy. You've answered the same question 6 times that week, so that gets easier, do you know what I mean?
So, do you know with boxing as well, now when you see, when you or other boxers are they have that fight week, and they're so positive, is that all just for your mindset as well? Because no way you're talking about the other fighter, you have to believe that you're going to win.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
So you have to speak it, and know sometimes you're watching and you're thinking, does he really believe what he's saying? Do you know what I mean?
A lot will just say it because they're supposed to say it, if that makes sense. You're not going to say, you know what, I've had the swat of a camp, like, I've got a sore shoulder, do you know what I mean? Like, so you always do try and, like, big yourself up to make your opponent think, oh, he's flying, do you know what I mean? And then a lot of it can be for yourself as well.
You can say that, but
motivate
at
yourself.
the time, and you're probably the same, you could not, in the camp you've done, it's easy in hindsight now, like, maybe Canelo or say Callum Canelo, but you couldn't convince me before that I weren't going to win.
I know.
You know what I mean? You do convince.
Stage or training.
Like,
mentally, you just, as the weeks are going on, you do convince yourself that, nah, I've done everything I need to.
You don't go into a fight. I don't think any of us have ever. We fought some really the top people, but no one's ever gone into a fight thinking you're going to lose. You're massively up against it and all that. But there's times Oh yeah,
so I went in, I was thinking, you know what, if I hold my own and do well, I've done well. He was 2-time world champion and he won the Olympics after it. So I was thinking, just hold your own, don't know how to play. He ends up beating him. That's the only time I've ever gone in the ring thinking, just do well.
You more just stick your mind as well, don't you?
Yeah. Do you know what it is though? We fighters in general, most of them, so like I said, your one non-negotiable was that you're always on top and in shape and fit and ready. With the second you went fight, you wasn't because you're back. That's that one gone. The one non-negotiable we've all had, and what a lot of fighters, especially for me, will have, is that. So regardless of how it's going, I know I've got that. I know I'll outlast him in that. I know I'll push him more.
Give everything, and as long as you're going to give it and get in and try and like Scousers, you can't be seen to bottle it. Like never. Whoever you're against, you've got to go in and give what you've got. But what I was going to say, when you're saying about camps, how many people do you have a 12-week camp for a 12-round fight? You always get niggles and injuries, so you're always carrying something. Like you mentioned Canelo then. He's fighting Canelo, the biggest fight of his life. He's unbeaten at the time. Yeah, cool. One of his first spars, Kell Brook elbows him, cut on his eye, couldn't do no more sparring. So 6 weeks before the fight, he didn't spar. Doesn't say that on interviews. Gets an interview, he's like, I'm going to win, I'm ready and all that. You can't go in an interview and go, actually I haven't sparred for 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Especially for your body as well.
Yeah, you've got to mask a lot of things.
You go up and down in weight as well. So it's all I can imagine it to be like is like our pre-season, and where during pre-season we all get niggles, we all get injuries.
Few people have actually said that, like every fight camp is like a pre-season, because you're coming in, you're not in shape, you're out of shape. I was laughing before when you were talking about people giving you stick. My pet hate, it's not even stick either, and I don't let it get to me as much as it does because I laugh it off now. My pet hate is when you're a boxer, you bump into someone, you don't know them, never met them in your life, you go, all right, Paul, fuck me, lad, you put some weight on, haven't you? What do you mean? You've given me stick before? No, we were talking about it before. Fellas giving you stick all on the line, shouting abuse. It's never the abuse, it's the friendly stuff. It's like, all right, lad, fuck me, lad, you're bigger than your life, aren't you? In the life, you're all right there, like you put hands on your time, you think, do us a favour.
But you know what? I used to, almost every week, so after a game, for instance, I'd put about £6-7 on. after the game. And then...
Where'd you go?
By Tuesday. No, but I think just from the Wednesday, I'd hardly heat, I'd dehydrate myself. I'd go into games dehydrated because I felt better, lighter. So then after the game, I'd put it all back on. And that was like a weekly thing, which was
I felt that the problem with us, we like boxed with GB, and they'd weigh you like 4 times a day and couldn't let you go above, they didn't want you above 5% of your fighting weight. So I was to fight 57, I couldn't be above 59.8. So I was living in sauna suits to make that all the time. I was constantly dehydrated. I used to spar like some of the best kids in the country or the world.
Monday to Thursday, and then I'd come home, and then the weekend my weight to go up, and then I'd have to get it back down for Monday morning, so then I'd be going on Sunday,
Remember
morning.
You come in the gym, so when you come in the gym, just before I boxed for the world title, you come up to Joe's gym. I remember. And I remember saying, I said, no what, it's mad, because like, you sing, you fat bastard, you're not even fat. I said, not of you. I remember you saying, you were like,
that was then.
12. I always stuck me on, you say, you used to weigh foot at like 12 stone. But I remember you saying to me,
I was about, so my ideal weight was about 12.8.
Yeah, but Ronaldo's heavier.
So like, Ronaldo was about 12.12 at the time.
But like, not like,
whatever, yeah.
Solid. Because I remember you saying, but there's just different, like, there's different people. He said, you remember who stuck with me? He said, Nanny's ripped the fucking can't do a sit up. Sit up's hurt him and all that. Like,
but I've never really done the gym. The only time I'd really done gym was when I was injured. Because I used to think, right, I'm going to give everything on the pitch. And then all the injury prevention that come in. So you do that with the team, but then say come February, you'd see all the lads in the gym, you know, just trying to get themselves ready for the beach and stuff. Mourinho wouldn't let them in. Mourinho wouldn't let them in the gym. He thought, if you're doing all your injury prevention, then and you're doing your football stuff, you're fine.
They're doing it for their own benefit.
I've never had surgery. I've never had big injuries.
No, that day you're saying your ideal weight and all that. When would you say your peak was?
Probably, I don't know, I think there's different stages. I think when I first come through for the first few years, and then up until about 2012, I'd say 2013, was probably my peak.
Then you did like adapt as a player?
In 2010, I went down to about 11 stone 10, 11 stone 11, and I felt terrible. I felt weak, like, so I was thinking I need to put more weight on.
Do you think you got better with age? Obviously not towards the end when you slow down a bit, but as everyone does, by the way, not you, every player, every fighter, mentally, when you get that more experience about you and you're still in your peak, do you think obviously you got better with age? Or was you
and I think as well, because when I knew I wanted to go into coaching, so you start thinking of the game a little bit different as well, and positionally, and that's the reason I went out to America, went and played at Derby, because I wanted to experience, obviously Man United and Everton, two massive clubs, and I want to experience a different culture in the States, different way of playing, different need for players. Same in the Championship players are playing, they haven't made a massive amount of money, and so their livelihood depends on this. So I want to experience this as well from different players, and so you think about it differently, and then I drop back into midfield, which people think is more physical, which for me it wasn't. The toughest thing for me was the high speed running.
Why I asked you that is obviously not many people explode on the scene the way you did.
That's definitely speak about that, mate, because that's it. When you were 16, like that's the goal.
The Arsenal goal.
The Arsenal goal, but then
we're all Reds watching the goal.
Even like see the documentary where the Lillian Thuram and fucking. That's frightening, the fans thing. Especially the clips they showed, like what's shown and what you've done to him.
Euro 2014, Euro 2004. Remember going, it was weird really, thinking like, just a lad from Crocky. And then I remember the flight out and doing card tricks, and I remember players looking at me thinking, what's going on? I didn't really, I just wanted to play footy, but then the older you get, the more you think about it, the more pressure you feel.
Probably the best, isn't it?
That's the thing with now, me like going into coaching and training fighters, I always laugh and say, if I could start my career again with what I know now, I'd be well better. Do you feel that as a footballer? Like as you get later in your career, you're developing more up here, but you sort of...
Yes and no, because I think with young players, there's a rawness about them.
I was going to say, the rawness
there's a rawness about them, which you don't want them to lose that. But then with me, I'd lose my head and I'd see red. I couldn't hide it.
Than you did though. You can't break on the scene.
But there's a rawness about players when they come through, when they're young, and then you see slowly coaches are trying to take that away from them a little bit.
I remember going
especially now, the game's positional. And I don't think it's the same back as it was then.
I knew obviously Thomas and obviously loads of your family through the boxing and the footy as well. But I remember going to watch. I'm sure you play for England under 18s at Goodison. You play Portugal. Honestly, I remember everyone's raving about it, and we went and watched at Goodison.
So what happened with me at Everton? They used to get me tickets to all the games, and same ball boy, and I was mascot, and take me in and watch the first team training when I was like 14 and stuff. So I knew I was getting treatment which my teammates weren't getting. And then when I was in the first team, they started doing it with John Paul as well. So I knew that I was thinking he must be like the next.
He plays for us on a Saturday. His brother manages my Saturday team who I played for years. Yeah.
Still got his long hair or not? He used to have his long hair, did he?
I don't remember we spoke to them. We used to do a bit of strength and conditioning with Dave Billows.
Yeah, Dave, yeah.
Yeah, and we were just talking about JP because again, he said, "No what?" He said, like, you know, he probably the best kid I've seen come to Everton, Wayne Rooney. He said, "I'm so surprised he never ever."
You know, alongside like the coaches, what age would they? If you get a special kid in the gym, you're treating them a little bit different because they need a bit more. What age did you think and you realised that like they were backing you and they were believing in you?
I knew I was all right at footy early on.
All right.
No, because they
no, but you get immediate attention that way, and just before you kicked on as well, like people were raving about you.
So it's mad now. Me 7-year-olds in Everton 3 times a week, and I didn't join Everton until I was 9. So now it's way younger. It's younger than 7. But then I think it was around out under 11s. They moved me up at age group. Then he moved me up 2 age groups. Then when I was 14, I was playing for the under 19s. But that helped me massively because I was playing in midfield and physically I couldn't handle. They were much bigger than me. Then I went as a striker. I couldn't. So that's when I started playing number 10 because I had to come off defenders and find space because physically I couldn't deal with them. So that helped. And I used to watch. Used to study Yari Lippmann. Used to watch videos of Lippmann all the time for that position. And obviously he played flipper, but when he was at Dortmund, Ajax and stuff, so it was actual video cassette when we're just there watching it for hours and hours.
Who's the best player you played against?
Messi. Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Zidane as well, but Messi.
Who's the hardest worker you ever trained with?
It's tough. I have to say Ryan Giggs. Yeah, I just think for that long, and you know, he was obviously everyone's doing it now, Pilates or yoga and stuff, but he was doing all that just to keep himself fit and playing on. Obviously Ronaldo as well now, he's doing the same. But I just think for longevity and keeping himself fit, because he had his injuries when he was younger as well, before I was at United, and then from there, and then what he'd done, he never pulled out of a training session because he knew if he missed a session or 2 sessions, it'd be so difficult for him to get back into his rhythm.
Our friends at Bingham Long Solicitors are leading a major legal claim on behalf of people affected by legal aid data breach. Earlier this year, the agency failed to protect applicants' sensitive information, allowing hackers to access and download over 2 million pieces of personal data, including names, addresses, financial details, and even criminal records. If you apply for legal aid at any point since 2007, your data may have been exposed and you may be due significant compensation. To find out if you're eligible and join the claim, simply scan the QR code now on screen. You can also learn more at legalaidclaim.com.
Who was he? I can't think of my head now. We've seen that like interview, he's telling the story about this kid comes in and he said, I thought he was a ball boy, he's a 14-year-old kid. He said,
it was Kevin Campbell.
That's it, Kevin Campbell.
Smash someone, was it?
Unbelievable, like, you know, I remember watching it laughing my head off, just thinking, imagine that. He said, this kid comes in and thought he's a ball boy. He said, next minute he goes, he's having a game. He said, I'm thinking, is he won a fucking prize or something? He's going to play a game with us. He said, next minute he scores a hat-trick. He's like, that's it. He said, he ran the show. I was crying, laughing, watching it.
That was bad about that. I think now, because you have to do all your safeguarding and stuff as a coach and whatever. But then I was 15 to train with the first team, and I was 15. always remember after the session, like now you're separated in different dressing rooms now. Just in the dressing room, I'm in the shower next to Duncan Ferguson, Abel Xavier. I know he just like, what's happening here?
That is mad. Don't that feeling though,
Do you know what helped with that? It was boxing actually. Because when you go to boxing when you're younger and you're in the showers and
We've got stories about that. When if my lad used to come home from the gym, he'd go, funny today in the showers, one of the coaches on the end, I'm laughing my head off because that's how it is. Any other kid goes home tomorrow, I was in the shower today, one of the coaches telling me how big his balls were. Like, you think, whoa, hang on, what? But it wasn't like that. The boxing gyms are great for things like that. Pass your showers, you're late bollocks, and they're standing getting changed. You're standing in the corner, you're like, you're back to the wall, like 13 years of age.
I like, one of the best things, when we done it, one of the best things I've done that, like outside boxing, when we played that charity game. Say, walked in, when the changes were Goodison, in the away changes, we played Liverpool against Everton, we were with Fowler, Legends game it was, and we got invited to play in at Goodison. Alan Kennedy, there was loads, weren't the Aldridge.
Everton cheating bastards don't have a few ringers from the youth team.
They had
a few ringers.
So Everton winning?
They do 1-0, yeah. Stuart Barlow, weren't it?
Barlow scored.
Stuart Barlow scored.
When we talk about comfortability and that way we can get the ring and have a fight, but
John Barnes.
that day, there was like one stand full.
Yeah.
Ah, mate, I was so nervous. I remember like Robbie Fowler gave me the ball and just fired it back at him.
We have it when you play Soccer Aid, when you play in Soccer Aid, like you have different singers or actors.
Wayne, do us a favour, he's fucking desperate to get on it. I knew he'd ask you. Just get him on it, please. Pull us out of our misery.
Hey, he's part of the cast. When you're playing there, and you've got like different actors, like world famous actors and singers and stuff, and they're terrified. But then that's obviously that's what we know.
To be fair, though, that's on telly, isn't it? It's only a little charity game, no cameras, and we still bottled it.
Said, I shit myself again walking on the pitch.
Tyson was manager, Tyson Fury was manager, and he come in and he said it's like a bit surreal. It's like just a.
Went on the pitch at half time, Liverpool, shit myself, didn't know where to look. It's like fought in front of 50,000 people.
So listen, speaking of comfort zone, would you have a go to boxing?
At the boxing?
I've asked you before, obviously, we've chatted about this a few times, but...
I think I've missed the boat on that one, did I?
Don't get him to manager, if you're a manager.
Do you know what? I'd never say never with it. I wouldn't say never. It depends on what offers on the table.
Yeah. Do you know what, speaking of boxing...
You'll be the fifth Smith brother, we'll sort
Speaking of boxing, weirdly enough, I went into Crocky Gym a couple of weeks back with our Frankie. The gym went there sparring, and he walks in, I was talking to John, and then he's like, "Do you want to spar?" And there's Wayne Rooney, and all the kids, Wayne Rooney. I was like, half the gym's all the Rooneys. Boss.
I haven't seen
really well. I watched him spar.
Meant to be good, yeah.
A couple of them, and honestly, got doing really well. I was thinking, wow, like,
that's the thing. For anyone who doesn't know, who's listening, obviously Wayne's, your uncle Richie's done Crocky for years and years, and it was his anniversary recently, and I was in Saudi and sent to the
brilliant. I went to some boxing awards in London a few months back, and Richie got an award for his time he's put into boxing and stuff. So, no, it's brilliant. I used to love going.
You're a boxing family, aren't you?
Yeah,
like,
you,
John, and
Richie won a few titles as well. Was a good boxer.
Got all the pictures on the wall, and they have all the list of boxers.
Well, I think boxing is the reason I could play in the Premier League at 16. No, just going and doing the training, and me legs and me hips and my arse, and it made everything stronger. And
another funny stat: our Paul's first ever skills was against, I think it was Richie's lads.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And it was Smith against Rooney on both first skills, but there's no winner. They just they're good. They see each other all the time. He's a boss kid. It was weird seeing like two because again, not just yourself with the football. The Rooneys are a boxing family. They're known in the city as a big boxing family, aren't they? As well as obviously then what yourselves done.
No, I used to love going.
Graham, but the John box now. You're always at footy, John.
Graham box, yeah, Graham box. Graham's in it.
Graham's in the champions and everything.
Your kids like it, don't they?
Yeah, so I've all the shorts and gloves and that, and so whenever they're arguing, they just get in the gym and get in the ring. So we've done a ring in there, just get in the ring, and then you just know, you're just listening, and you just hear one of them screaming. But no, they love it, yeah.
That was our house growing up. We never had the ring, but we just pushed the couch back, wouldn't he? Pushed the chair back, moved the rug.
That's how we sorted everything.
I remember my brother, Graham, and do you remember Greenwood?
Yeah.
I sparked with my mum's bedroom. I don't know where, like, he's out. You think, oh my God, it's bad this, yeah. Used to have one glove on each.
That's what we used to do, exactly.
One glove on each, 2 towels.
Who's the best boxer you've ever seen, or your favourite boxer? Not even the best, just your favourite.
Ever? I have to say Tyson. Mike Tyson is favourite. I didn't see him live, but Tyson, yeah, just I loved how aggressive he was, and you know, just there's different angles he's moving to, and how quick he was as well.
I've never seen anyone like him myself.
For
My favourite, the best boxer was Sugar Ray Leonard, in my opinion. My favourite has always been Tyson.
I used to love Roy Jones as well.
Yeah,
Roy Jones Jr. as well. And I met him in Portland years ago. I was about 20, and I went to, it was Phil Knight, the owner of Nike. He retired, so we brought all his different athletes from different sports into the, like Michael Jordan, Roy Jones Jr. was there, like all the top athletes from Nike were there. And I was just following Roy Jones. Michael Jordan sat there when he bothered, I was just following him around, and then got a picture with him.
I read his book that night once, but yeah.
And I remember he come out after it, I'd lost in Vegas, but lost in like a good fight. And he come out, we were in Dunkin' Donuts getting a coffee.
And he come over and just spoke dead well. It was like, if I ever see your name on a thing, I'd buy a ticket and all that. And then a couple of years later, ended up against him with Eubank.
I was going to say it in the corner against you.
In the corner, against him, Eubank.
Talking about you being nervous at the pitch, I can go back to when I carried the belt in at Ricky's fight. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Because he'd never lost as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm carrying it. I've been in the pool at the win all day as well, so my face was red raw. I'm stood there carrying his belt in, and I'm just thinking, oh my God. But then he beat Castillo in the fourth, I think.
Yeah, body shot, some body shot. There used to be boss pictures of that in the gym, in his gym, in the other gym as well. He had obviously Oasis and that, didn't he, carrying the belt to the ring. Say about like things like this, the podcast, like he'd been a perfect one, Ricky, to have on for the boxing, and remember he's had some stories as well.
Yeah.
He got some good nights with him as well.
We got some good stories ourselves with him, especially you. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, we went to the, after that fight, we went to one of the pool parties, me, Ricky and Matthew. With our partners, and he's turned up. He's got the boxing belt, vest where they go slim at the back. And he's got one of them on, shorts down by his shins, and a little Dion hat, bucket hat. He's wide as any, and I'm just thinking, oh my God. And then they wouldn't let, obviously, because he won, they put it on for him. And they wouldn't let him in. They didn't believe that he was the boxer. I'm there going, no, it's actually him.
That's where he's some character like that, really, you know what I mean? Like he come to our Ryan's communion, didn't he? And it was after one of his fights, come dressed as a woman. The players dress on, shoes, playing footy in the pits he was. So the party was in the pits, where you get the pitch in front. He's playing footy in a woman's dress. He used to have the bad shirt days and he had the dress on.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to see you and Killian at the funeral as well. It was like so many people. It was a proper sad day, but it showed you the support that turned out from the people.
As it was, like it was a good day in terms of the people that were there.
Yeah, I was speaking to you through the week over. They were like, look, we've got tickets, and he's ringing me, no, I really want to go. Like, we make sure there's tickets, like we really want to go and pay our respects and that. And the amount of people that wanted to be there to turn up, and shows you exactly what he did. But British boxing wise, he's up there with them, and he was character wise. I don't think anyone will do what he's done for a long time with selling the tickets in Vegas the way he did. And the fans used to be.
As well.
With no social media either, you know what I mean? People now sell tickets, big ticket sellers now because of social media and whatnot.
The amount of people he took to Vegas though will never be done again, even with the social media and that now, you know what I mean?
What do you think on social media yourself?
I don't know, I used to be alright on Twitter and then I had to get off it. I had to, I put a few tweets out at early hours in the morning. Offered to a straight outside the training ground, United. And then I just said, no, I need to stay off it, so I changed the passwords and I don't know. So now I'll just tell my team who were doing it to put stuff up, but yeah, it's Well, it's part of life now, isn't it? Society, and it's with the kids now as well. And you know how you have to be careful on it as well, but also it can open different doors for
double-edged sword
for you as
like,
well.
Kai coming through now playing football, he's got to have a social media platform to boost himself, boost his career, sponsorship and all the things you've got to do.
That's going into, especially the big clubs and the big players now, that's going into part of the deal that they're getting.
It's like boxing said, like boxing now, I could take a young kid now for a sit down with a promoter to turn pro. They'll ask what he's won. You know, right, jot that down dead quick, and then he'll say, look, how many tickets can you sell in Liverpool for your debut? And if he says a couple of hundred, they say, sign there. Because you're costing them nothing. And then the rest, they can see if you're good, they can build you themselves, and they could build you into a star. But if you lose, you've cost them nothing because you're selling enough tickets to cover man and your wage, and then, so it's just the power of, you know, the social media. So
that's why, obviously, obviously now with the Saudis coming into boxing as well, and I think people will agree or not agree with it, but what I like about it is they're getting the best fighters fighting each other.
100%. We said this ages ago.
And we forget the money. You know, I want to see Fury versus Joshua.
That'll happen.
I'm not really bothered now because I think the both...
Still will happen though.
It still will happen though. We were talking about that I was on Talk Sport today. That was a conversation. That's what they're doing. Joshua's hopefully going to go through Jake Paul quick, and then Fury's making his comeback apparently.
If you're a boxing fan, you've got to be happy with the Saudis because years ago, nothing against them, but Eddie Hearn's fighters wouldn't be fighting Frank Warren because Eddie Hearn's fighters got a fight on his platform and Frank Warren, they're now both on the own, but they weren't. Franks were on BT, so they'd never fight each other. All of a sudden, a Saudi comes along, throws his money about, and they're all fighting each other on the same on the same show. So it's good for fans. Do you think it was the prospects, wasn't it? So like there wasn't as many bills in England because they were all the big fights are going to Saudi, so the prospects weren't getting as many fights. When we turned pro, I had 7 in my first year. Callum, you had 9 in your first year, didn't you? So that was like an active pro turning over. Nowadays, prospects are having 3 fights a year because there's not as many bills. That's the only way it's been a bit detrimental. But for fans, for boxing fans, you've got to be happy with it because you're seeing all the fights you wouldn't have seen.
And the money's good as well for them. And it's hard to say without sounding like one of them bitter ex-players. Oh, in my day it went that, but the money's a lot better for the fighters now, so they're getting paid, so they're willing to fight anyone and on whatever platform it is.
Yeah, they're able to do it now.
Moses is the Coley, is it?
It's been ordered.
He's someone who'll be getting compared to people like yourselves at home. He was knocking men out cold at 14, 15 years of age, going to World Juniors now and winning them. And we were all hearing, me personally, I was hearing, you probably knew a lot more, and you definitely knew more because you were still the amateurs. You've been watching on Instagram, but he was the amateur the longest at the last attempt pro. We're in stories, this heavyweight kid's coming through and he's flattening everyone, he's wiping them out, winning gold medals everywhere. And he's turned it over into the pros like that, he's doing it easy.
I still think sometimes though, that jump from him, where they're talking about maybe going to fight Usyk, or I still think that jump is too quick for him at the minute.
I don't think they'll do it now because his age, they were trying to do it so he beat Tyson's record. You can't beat him now, so they'll slow him down a little bit now, they'll give him a few more. They were rushing him and talking about that because he wanted to become the youngest heavyweight champion.
But it's a weird sort of time for the heavies though, because as I said, then a gap started developing. You had Usyk, Fury and Joshua, sort of top 3. And then there was quite a big gap to all the rest, so Chishoras and
Parkers and all.
Whites and Parkers. And I think there was, them 3 were sort of pulling away, and then when they all fought each other, there was still that jump to make. So if you're a prospect and you're going, like you've seen what he's done with Dillian White, a great fighter, but he jumped on him early and beat him early, but then now he's got to jump again to get to Usyk's level, which is a big gap.
Nearly had it with Chisora, didn't he?
Are you going again?
He's bossed Chisora, but after the box Eubank, he's done it into like he's boss, as we all know, and he's a boss fella. But after the Eubank, he's done it into him where he's just round the bend. He's just said something. He said, "Oh, Smith didn't look himself. Look, he had an injury," and he just goes, "Yeah, he got his ass kicked." So I've just bit anyway. Next interview I've just done, I've just said, "I know what I mean." Chisora and Frost giving me loads. Fucking Chisora's punch bag needs to retire. Fucking promoter asked him to retire. If I was at heavyweight, I'd fucking batter him.
That's take your brothers with you for that one.
So, as the press conference to announce my next fight, Chisora walks in, that clocks me, just walks right up to me. So I just sat off the bench, there you go. Said, no, it's just, people there, so I was just thinking, fuck. And I went, just nudge me. I said, what are you doing? I think it's like, you big bastard. And he just grabbed me and hugged me. Never spoke about it, none. And I just always have a laugh with him now since I see him. But I just thought, here he is, walking towards me. He's just going to pull me on this now.
It's the thing, unfortunately, with the boxing, the same with you, the football. Sometimes when you're not at the races, you've got to just take your licks. You've got to take the stick. You've got to take whatever happens. You have your downs. And you've had it with the red card and the World Cup and things like that. You have your downs, and when you're down, obviously everyone wants to stick the boots in. But then the highs are so high, aren't they?
That's the good thing. Obviously not finals, but the good thing with football is you 2 or 3 days or a week later you can go again, so you can put it behind you quite quickly. With obviously
lost for as long as
you're doing a 12-week camp or whatever for one night, and then you don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
For the next
I think you're affected by this as much being in the footy, but it used to make me laugh at the boxing. We'd have a fight and you'd win a fight, win a title, be buzzing, and you'd go to see your family and you walk in a bar or something, and a fella would go, "Hey, Swifty," and I'd go, "All right, me take this to say congratulations," and he'd go, "I have money on you by knockout, lad, what happened?" And I used to look at him and think, "Mate, do you think I've just gone 12 rounds because I wanted to?"
It's like someone saying that to you when you've lost and you got lost money on you. So mate, I couldn't give a shite. I lost fortunes for my next fight.
But that one as well, we used to get phone calls all the time. Say like whether it was myself or their fight, and he'd go, "Hey lad, well, don't say nothing. What rounds are going to be?" I'd be like, "Mate, I'd be a multi-millionaire, but what rounds are going to be? Are you kidding me?"
You'd win the first all the time,
He has a few phases though. We went through a phase. Of betting on him in the phase. We could bet on him. We're not fighting him. We don't manage him. Only your manager or your fighter can't bet on yourself. That they used to be the rules. I think it's changed a bit now. But back then, like he went through a stage at 6 first round knockouts on the bounce.
I remember your Rocky one. I remember I was nervous for you because I was just thinking, whoever loses this, it's like it's going to be.
Man, when you touched on before about the footballers, like when you're younger and that, like. I was the same in terms of when I first turned pro, I was fearless. Like I felt, as you got older, you feel pressure of, wow, if this loses. Whereas up to like 25, 26, I genuinely had like no fear at the thought to anyone. I didn't think of like, in that Rocky fight, I never thought, I can't really lose, like can't afford to lose this one. I genuinely just thought, I'll give it to him.
You know what, one thing we've had that, isn't it? Like we've had good results on like pressure fights, derbies. In the pros, we've had you Quigley, you Dodson, me Fowler, you Rocky. And like, on such we lucky I won them all. No one lost them.
Them fights become just don't lose. Doesn't matter how you box, you just can't
performance
lose.
Isn't that, isn't all that? It's about not losing, isn't it, really? And
obviously everything before it as well. And
funny story about that fight, him and Rocky. Before it, you're about to walk to the ring and he's standing there. Rocky was in the ring. He'd be quite nervous anyway, and he's like, I need a piss. Like, I can't go. He's got his gloves on and everything. So Liam's standing there in his hand with a cup of it. On the commentary, they're like, "Oh, clever tactics by Callum Smith."
Yeah, keeping him waiting. I was having a piss underneath the thing. After the stage ramp, I was underneath it having a piss.
Yeah, but I'm pulling my shorts, right, and I'm moving the protector. I was like, saying, "Is it out?" Like fucking.
People are seeing video on it, but on the telly, obviously not looking at it, and they're saying, "Oh, delaying tactics from the Smith camp."
Do you do a drug test after every fight?
Yeah. Title fights, yeah.
Title fights.
Take long?
Sometimes if you've had
12 rounds, you're sweating.
Baddies, yeah, I've had some bad ones.
If you've had, I've seen a couple of his with blood in. There's one of yours. I've seen a couple. He's had a couple of blood in.
Katie Taylor-Serrano, one was unbelievable fight. It was unbelievable. We were at it, I boxed just before them, so I was chief support before it, goes in, does my drug test, but piss blood, and the New York Commission, mad in it, they're so strict, even before you turn up to fight before it, you've got to do a test before it, like,
press-ups
on your nose, got to do press-ups, I'm going to read this phrase and numbers, read them back to me.
That's where he struggled on the memory one.
And all that, no, like, but this is 2 hours before you fight. What the fuck? But after I pissed blood, so I had to stay with them till I had to drink 5 bottles of water, watching Taylor-Serrano in Madison Square Garden on the telly, backstage. I think, oh, mate, you want to get out and watch it?
The drug testing's a big issue at the minute, and it shouldn't be. And I think if you're found guilty of it, you should be banned. But we've had some funny stories with drug testers turn up at the house when you're not there. And remember one morning, banging 6 in the morning, and I've opened the top window, like, what the fuck do you want? He's got like a clipboard on, I thought it was a bailiff. And he went, Mr. Smith, what do you want? He went, UK Anti's open, said, oh, sorry mate, wait there and come down.
He's got...
Yeah, we had to do a 2 hour per day, every day.
Yeah, whereabouts?
Whereabouts,
Yeah, I've got to do it, I don't know, every single day.
I got 2 strikes for that. I had to file against them. So I had 2 strikes for the whereabouts, not updating the app. Again, never missed the test, but just not updating this stupid thing, giving the whereabouts. And then the third one, they gave me a 2-year ban. So I got like a sister on it and they fought against that. I got overturned, but basically they were going to ban me for 2 years for not updating the app. And I said, how can you do that? I've never missed a test. I've never failed a test. You kicked me off the app. Now you want me back on it. Once I beat you bank, they wanted me back on it. And then because I never signed back up to it in time, they give me another strike.
We done that at Man United. When Van Gaal come in, you can imagine there's 30 players. So trying to keep on top of 30 players to do it, it should be easy enough. You look after your own, whatever, and do it. But they end up putting a monitor on the door, so when you walk in, you look at it. Then that updating and tells them that you're in the building. Oh, yeah. So when you're training, that 2 hours is during your training time. Yeah. So if they don't come, then you're fine.
Yeah, we had to give it overnight accommodation. Because I was like, surely this is fucking. Do you know more than the police know if you're on bail or something?
Then when you win a big
everything.
It's like if we won the Champions League, and I can't remember who else. It was Van der Sar, another player. As soon as you come down the tunnel,
they grab you
off.
Yeah.
So they miss out on all the celebrations. Yeah. I'm thinking surely.
To the game, random.
Yeah. I'm thinking surely you can. Yeah. Let him do all the celebrations with his teammates in the dressing room.
So most of the drug testers are sound, aren't they? And you get to know them, but they, mate, I can't piss, you have to come with us. And they're just walking around with you behind you with a clipboard, just watching everywhere you go, and then you do it and you're fine.
I had a different one in Vegas. So I was walking through to the weigh-in. So obviously when you're weighing in, I've took about 10 pounds off the night before, I'm dehydrated to rise a bone, and you're walking through the weigh-in, this fella put his hand up, just thought he was like just a boxing fan, and he kept holding my hand, and you're looking thinking what, and he went, Vade, and I went, Vade? And he went, yeah, and I went, not a chance, and he went, drug test, I went, mate, I won't piss till 10 o'clock tonight. He went, well, I'm staying with you till 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he's in his room.
I like a suite in Vegas. And I've got videos on my phone, it's like I've weighed in, lying in the bed drinking, and I flipped the camera and this fella's just sitting with his clipboard in my room. I went for food in the night and all that.
All the sweaty and all that.
I just done my weight cut for Eubank on the day before the weigh-in. So the weigh-in Friday morning, Thursday night, gone and done my big push. We're walking back in the hotel, and there's a drug test fella, night before the weigh-in. He said, mate, it's not even like I can't have no drink because I'm weighing in the next morning. I said, no way, I'm going to piss, I've just done me cut. So we come up in the room, so everyone was in the room, ain't they? And I said, go on mate, I'll try. You've got to piss 90 mil. I basically dribbled. I said, mate, that's what I can do. And he said, oh, look, you have to go again. I said, well mate, I can't. So well, you can just stay there, I'm going to get in bed and whatever. So he's sitting next to the bed, I'm lying in bed in the hotel. He's on a chair there, like that type chair. So I'm starting to get frustrated and I said, mate, look, there's I'm not going to piss, so I don't know what you want to do, but I'm going to go to sleep. I'm weighing in the morning, and then he went, let me phone the boss and see what. And then he said, got off the phone and said, if you just have another attempt and I have to take whatever you give me. Walked in, and walked back out to me, that's what I've done. And he took it.
Surely they have to take that into account and that though, haven't they? It's just stupid.
I think it's someone, they basically say, we're told to come, yeah? But they're told to come, I think they're told. But again, I think Robert Smith's got a lot to do with it. I know he's got a lot to do with UCAD.
Yeah. So. But more often than not, boxers are dehydrated weighing in, so you're not going to be able to piss. So they should know really. Do it after the fight, straight after the fight. There's no way you're getting an NRE system. You can just get your test done straight after it. But you've had loads. But when we're going to say about that, the time and before, you say missing celebrations and that. If you've had an easy fight and you've knocked some out early, haven't sweated much, you go in, you walk in, you have a piss, it's easy because you're rehydrated by that point. But when you've had a hard 12 round, you've lost all kinds of weight in the fight, you get out, you're shaking, sitting there, and you go, yeah, do a drug test, and you're sitting there all night, and everyone's celebrating, especially to like touch wood if you've won. Everyone's in the back all celebrating, and you're sitting in a room.
I've smashed a few rooms up. we had it in Euro 2016, and the group game, so we had Everton give us 2 hours after the game where you can see your family and your kids and whatever. So I got took in after every group game. I got took in, and in the end, I think it was Adam Ramsey in the 3rd game. So when I smashed the telly over that. I was like,
what do you think?
I've done it every game, so I didn't get a chance to see my kids at all.
I get it exactly. You pass one, and that's it. What was the best game you've ever been involved in?
Who was from that stuff then?
If you can remember, like.
Don't know. I'd probably say it's the Champions League final.
Yeah.
I'd say against Chelsea.
Got the penalties?
Yeah, just it was a weird streak because we kicked off. I think it was 11 o'clock at night in Russia. Oh, yeah. We kicked off, so it was the longest day ever, and you just in your hotel room, and then obviously we went 1-up. They brought it back, and then again it was like because it's someone from England, it's like a rival, and you just think you can't lose. We were meeting up with England 3 days after it. So you just think if you walk in and you've got JT and Lamps and well just there, so you're just thinking you can't lose this. But I'd say that there's some other games as well where they were. Remember the 2011 game, Champions League final? For a different reason, just being involved in that game with that Barcelona team was just like incredible.
What's your best moments then yours, personal?
My first goal for Everton, I think definitely.
The Arsenal one.
Yeah, that one. Then the
commentary helps that as well, doesn't it?
My debut for Man United.
That stopped the runs, didn't it?
The league win, the hat-trick win. Yeah, hat-trick win, yeah, I remember that.
My debut. Do you know what? That was like proper shit, innit?
Was you?
Yeah, going into my first game for United.
Why? Because how big United was?
Just because obviously being a Scouser, going to play for Man United, and it doesn't happen all the time. And I'm thinking I need to, start quick here. Otherwise, I need them to take me in quick.
I remember
before the game.
Speaking about a Scouser in United, I got a couple of tickets off you once. Sat with your dad and that, me and Janine. I'd just beat Dodson the night before. I had all kinds of stitches in my head, on my eye. And I thought, I can't be arsed sitting down in our end for half an hour after the match. We're going to go for some food in Manchester and have a night out there after it. Torres scored a goal. And then 2 fellas behind us that shot, these are fucking Scousers, and everyone's whole section of the main stand, you Scouse bastards, and all like, fucking get them on your darts, there's all my lads playing for you. Sit back down, someone dig me in the back of the head. So I turned around and looked, and it was 2 fellas, I swear, one must have been 80, one must have been 85. I thought, I can't wait for you to go to bog at half time with boys. They got a blanket out at half time, a big flask, a load of sarnies and Timford, and never budged from there after 20 minutes. In the second half, I said, let's go quick. So I think it was 2-2 a game. I think it was 2-2 a game or something. But even then, you're playing for them. Your dad's sitting there supporting you, and they're still giving this Scousers loads.
Yeah, well, I think they used to, because they'd sing about Scousers, and then it was almost every time they finished, they'd start singing my name. So it was almost like their way of saying sorry. It was like their way of saying sorry.
One of my mates comes down for this one. Liverpool United the week, but he's a United fan. Yeah. He's come down, he's come to match with us. So man and his seats were together. So it's funny when he's doing so. United come 1-up last start. He's just doing that with the legs to me, right? So, but then when they've gone 2-1 up, the lads behind must have seen him, but I seen him. He's videoing the United fans. So we were in the Kenny Dalglish one. So he's videoing the United fans all bouncing in the corner. And long story short, they've gone 2-1. 2 minutes after I've got off, like 86 minutes, I've got off. I said, Jim, I'm going to get off, mate. So I've got off. These lads on each after him said, oh, you man bastard, why didn't you video our fans? Must have got on and video. You knew he was a man because he's only videoing the United fan, must have seen his phone, give him loads, sort of laughing when he's telling story. So what did you do? He said, no, I went down the toilet, come back up, seen an empty seat there and I sat there. Saying to him,
the day of that game, that United game, I'd been commentating the night before on the bare knuckle in Leeds. And I had to get the train back because I had my sling on, I couldn't drive and so just had an operation on the Thursday, this was the Sunday. And I'm on the train and we stop at Piccadilly and I just see all these United fans getting on. I thought, so I just kept quiet and I just heard, hey mate, are you a boxer? You a a man catch? I thought, oh, don't mate, please don't. I said, hey dickhead, are you a boxer? I thought, I turned around, looked and it was Crawler's mate, Steve. I was standing having a laugh and joke with them, and I'm talking to them all the way down, dead patronising, going, would you take a draw today? And the fucking sticker got on the phone later on, hey, what about that draw and all that? We got absolutely battered, didn't we? And been a bit of a tricky time since.
Watched much of the bare knuckle?
No.
We went on the other week. Me?
Brutal, innit?
Yeah.
That's what he's going to be doing next, he said.
You've always been doing it, haven't you?
I do it for nothing, so fucking... Someone wants to be a straightener, I'd have it for nothing, so fuck might as well get paid for it, mate. It's one of them, innit? Someone says now, blah, blah, I want you to straightener, we go, so I just think, mate, someone say, yeah, someone wants to pay. 5 2-minute rounds, I can do that tomorrow after that fucking... After that plate of fucking pasties.
I actually like it, but I would not want to go past the first round in that.
Who was in? Was it Young, De Gale?
Gale had the goal.
Actually, I did see that.
Frankie Gavin, Jamie Cox. There's been loads of ex-boxers having a go.
I've seen the De Gale one.
Yeah, we had that show to the Gale in Manchester. He come over, didn't he, McGregor? He's got some more around the money.
Connor?
Yeah.
He gone to this last week to go and play in that game. He had the games against the Sunday League team.
I've been asked to go and play in it. Against Heskey and all that. Cisse, sorry. That's the Cisse and all that Papa Cisse team. Anne's asked me to go and play in it. Yeah, I think it's the Forge team. It's their team. Brands will play for the old ones. He asked me to go and play in it.
He won a world title, played 45 minutes for Custies the next day.
I don't remember.
He's just round the bend with the football. He'll play if there's a
Brand
game
play
anywhere.
footy than box, but I'm not as good at footy as I was at boxing.
I know, but if your job's to box, then...
I know.
Exactly. Your job's to box. You got a world title fight.
It's a bit like me. Go get knocked out. Boxing.
In 3 weeks, and he's playing Sunday League with the arse Dorman and fucking, the night before, full of ale in them and wanting to go right through the back of them.
No, but he beat Eubank in the next day, Mr. Penn, in the National Cup.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
It's everywhere, buddy. He's got more like
Went viral for that. I was more asked by missing that than I was fucking... I would have rather have scored that and got beat.
Listen, I near got done in on the line. He missed his pen, I burst out laughing. I forgot all the lads support the team. They're all glaring at me.
No, what though? Because of the Eubank situation, the next day, Boxer come and filmed it, Sky come and filmed it. There was about 4 sets of cameras there. And the goalie, the pineapple goalie, on the Sunday, plays for me on my Saturday team with me. And he's given me the ball and said, don't forget, Beef, I know where you go. And I went, oh. And about a million things went through my head. I still went the same way I always go. But I've tried to blag the keeper with me run up. And I scuffed the ball wide, put it wide. Thought I should have just whipped the ball and thought he won't get to it.
Do you ever get any of that, like, for England playing against, like, United teammates and that, like...
Yeah, no, you've just got to... I remember I went right through Giggsy when we played Wales, and it's like when I play for England with Stevie. Me and Stevie try and smash each other, and that goes out. People always say...
Ronaldo when you got sent off.
2006. People always say, was you pissed off at him? I'm like, he's doing what he can for Portugal. I'd do the same if it was for England to get England to, so I had no problem with that at all.
It's the thing with boxing, you spar. We used to spar, and you spar, you knock shite out, you didn't have to, like, yeah, you've done well there. Like, you moved in, it's forgot, it's gone. It's not impersonal whatsoever. It's
have you had anyone, like, keepers, can't have any mind games with you, like, I know where you're going there?
Yeah, few, especially with a penalty. Joe Hart had a couple, I think he saved one and scored a rebound.
Did you say something to him on that? Did you say something to him after it?
I probably will have, yeah. Yeah, no, it's whenever you play against keepers who, especially with England, whoever the keepers were, you practice penalties, so they know really, and they study it as well, so they know my run-up would change slightly if I was going to this side than it would to this side. So they know that, and so you try and...
That's the small details in at the top level of sport. Joe Hart came to the gym the other day to do a session with Callum, didn't he? He's done a bit of filming with Callum the other day and got on the pads and that. Needs a bit of work, doesn't he?
He just sent me a boss picture there, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good lad, Joe.
Well, fit, big lads as well, and he proper big. That's the thing with the football as well. You know, you what, 5'11", 6 foot?
No.
5'10".
5'10".
Yeah, 5'10".
5'10", yeah.
You're bigger than Stephen anyway.
And going up for challenges with big defenders, 6'3", 6'4". And
yeah, do you know what? It's timing and just knowing how to use your body. It's because if you time it right, and you know I've got a 6'3" centre half, I know if I get up and put my forearm out, I can hold it
as well, can't you? To be fair,
you can hold them. You can hold it down. So Shearer used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
If you look, Shearer's forearms like mine, like when we play with big forearms. And then you use your forearm, you can't.
Stevie said to me, therefore used to sharpen his elbows, that Shearer. Instead of Coffey, yeah, he said honestly, he used to sharpen his elbows. He said,
got a bit of a valid question for you. Who, obviously the best manager you play for, but who did you enjoy playing for the most manager-wise?
Fergie was the best to play for, definitely.
That's why.
And he was chilled. He weren't what people think.
What was good about him, like?
And management.
Yeah, he never took the training sessions or anything like that. But his team talks, some of his team talks were incredible. Yeah, the one for Champions League final, he talked about the poverty in Russia. It was his team talk.
Really?
And no, it gets you thinking. And then when we're travelling into the stadium, you're seeing people on the streets and stuff, and it just got you thinking. And how lucky you are to actually
be in a position.
Whatever happens here, you're going to be going home to your house or whatever. So he knew how to manipulate your mind, really. But then, in terms of who I learned the most from was probably Van Gaal, I think. And I think because I knew I wanted to go into coaching then, and so you learnt more from him. Moyes was tough, especially at Everton. Moyes was hard.
You always said about Moyes, he's a big boxing fan. He loves his boxing. He used to phone and go, "We've got the boxing on." And Moyes, he's letting us watch it, and like he watches the boxing a lot, doesn't he?
Boxing on, boxing or rugby league. We'd have on all the time, yeah. So whether it was a Saturday night or a Friday night with the rugby league.
Rugby, that's what Keane was watching when it turns over. It's great story.
Yeah, turned it off.
Stashed the remote.
Turned it off, put X Factor on and hit the remote. That was my first away game for United then.
You done that to Roy Keane?
The security come at midnight, asked where the remote was. I was like, I don't know, mate.
What's your favourite goal?
Probably the most iconic one was the overhead against City. But I think my best one was probably the Newcastle.
So the argued the ref.
Well, yeah.
Fucking great.
That was probably the best.
The arguing.
So started to get Shearer booked. Shearer had smashed someone. And honestly, it was definitely a yellow card and the ref didn't book him. So I was starting to get him booked. And then my head was gone because I seen David Belly on getting ready to come on. I had a dead leg. So I knew it would have been for me. So I was thinking, he's not coming on for me, surely. And then the ball's gone forward, fell for me, and I've just smashed it. Just smashed it, yeah. That was probably my best one, because we practiced that. In training, we'd always practice hitting a bit the outside of your foot a bit and bringing it back.
The Everton Arsenal still hard to beat, though.
That's what I was going to ask, what took the most skill? Me not being a footballer, did the overhead kick take more skill?
The Newcastle one.
Striking the ball away?
The Newcastle one, definitely. Because
Yeah.
we'd be practicing, the ball would come in from the side, and you're practicing hitting it with the, if you say your hand, your last two toes, but a bit above them, and bringing it back and come across it. And so you would practice that. You'd never practice overhead kicks. Really.
That overhead kick, I was in away with England in Hungary in a tournament, and I remember there was three of us in the room. It was a shithole. It was me, Cal Yaffe, Danny Price. Danny Price is a United fan. I was trying to get my head down, so I had the noise out of him when it went in. I was like, fuck's sake. But Cal, but I was with Cal Yaffe as well. I was thinking, who the fuck's he talking to? I think I was boxing that day. I was trying to get my head down. Nick took the roof off and it went in. Yeah. I'll always remember where it was now. Yeah, I was in Hungary.
It's the game as well, though, isn't it? Where it was against them. Just like
commentary makes it as well, doesn't it? The goal. The commentary makes the goal as well sometimes. Like where always one
celebration copy of
like
fucking Tevez.
Man, no.
When that one?
Yeah.
No. So I ran over to the City fans after the scored. Yeah, I done that, sorry, yeah. But then you don't really see it on the footage.
Who was that off?
The footage stays on me. I turn around and bow to the Man City fans. I don't know if it shows that much.
They should have clapped it anyway.
Yeah,
I've seen I've been at Anfield, some goals have gone and I've seen the cop clapping. Sometimes happens, some boss goals.
That's one though to think of. We spoke about this before, where like you visualise a fight, and Liam says he goes through his ring walk on his head and that. Like I just used to visualise like the finish and just get my hand raised, and sometimes it was relief. Did you ever think like your celebrations, if I've scored this game, I'm going to do this to the final?
No.
And nothing, to just whatever you felt at the time?
Never, yeah. The only one actually that was, which was pre-planned, was actually in the U Cup when I done the once a blue, always a blue.
Yeah.
So that's only done that for me.
Was it?
Read that out, yeah. And
Boss Tony.
that was the only one where it was premeditated. And even like the boxing one, I had no idea I was going to do that. Yeah, I just scored and then it must just go through your head quick and done it, yeah. So I've never...
Yeah, that was a question of the day for like, of a match day, of a fight day, we try and have a sleep. We'll have our dinner, like the last meal we're probably going to have, and then go in the hotel or wherever you are, phone in the corner and just try and switch off. Or sleep, but if you can't sleep, it's hard to sleep. And I said, like, it is hard to sleep because I kind of think, right, we didn't walk, I'm going to do this, then. If I end up knocking them out or stop them, I'm going to do this celebration, like jump on the rope or whatnot, and then obviously
proper vein.
Your interview after it. No, who you going to slaughter or are you going to call out or who you going to thank? You know what I mean? You always forget something, but I was just trying to think of all that.
What? Do you have any like superstitions or anything or like?
Not really, no. But the sleep one, that was always on my mind, because there was nights before a game, I'd be still awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And no, I just couldn't sleep, and don't know, it's excitement for the game or nerves or what, I don't know. And so I spoke to the doctor over it. So then there was a study which happened where they took, I think it was like 12 students here and 12 here, and some had no sleep and some had 8 hours sleep. And the ones with no sleep outperformed the ones with the 8 hours sleep. But then it was the next day, it was the second day where it hit them. Yeah.
On sleep, a little thing I remember you speaking about availability, you need sounds on for sleeping, don't you?
Well, I have a fan.
The fan is, yeah, the fan.
No, I have a fan at home, and then if I'm in a hotel, I have a hairdryer.
Oh, yeah, hairdryer, that's the one, yeah.
It blew up in DC.
Hairdryer, yeah. Yeah,
room was in flames. It's the only time it's happened, like, but...
Do you struggle sleeping after a night game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know loads who like to do that.
So I go back and watch the game. I normally go back, have a glass of wine, watch the game back, and would you struggle? It could be anything from 3 till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Training every morning. We train every morning. Like you get up in the morning, you go to the gym, you train, and all of a sudden you fight. Sometimes 11 at night, aren't they? So what we try and do is sleep on the day. So when you get in the changing rooms, you're wide awake, and that's something what like. Sometimes you can't sleep in the day, so you don't want to get in the changing rooms and being tired. But do you find that you're adapt for night games for the afternoon?
Yeah, it depends, because now that even when I was playing, there was different times kick off. I used to love the half-12 ones, especially if you win, obviously. Yeah. But I used to love the half-12 one because you
like the pasta for your breakfast, didn't you?
It weren't great, but you try and eat it. But I used to love it because you wake up, you go for your pre-match meal and you go to the game. So you're not waiting around. I was always excited match day, and the R5 games were the worst because you get up, have breakfast, then you're having your pre-match meal at a time you wouldn't normally eat, and then there's no time to sleep in between the two meals. Where the evening game, the 8 o'clock game, you could have your lunch at like 12:30, and then you could go to bed from like 1:30 till 3:30. So you know you're getting 2 hours sleeping there as well.
Who do you rate now? What are the current crop of players? Who do you think's?
Haaland is. I said I done something on one of the social media things for Amazon. The best 3 players this season. I completely forgot Haaland, and I was getting hammered for it. Yeah. But I'm thinking, I just forgot him. Yeah, so Haaland definitely. I really like Cole Palmer. I think he's good. I like Foden. Even though he plays for City, but him coming off it last season, then I really like how he plays. Yeah, they're probably me top 3.
Do you think Arsenal this season for the league?
Yeah. Don't know. I said this a few weeks ago. I think they could get, if they get nervous and City stay within touching distance, I think City could do them. But I think Arsenal got the best squad. They should do, but you never know when you get to that last couple of months.
No, exactly.
That's
where the mentality comes in.
We used to do a little mini pre-season in January. So where everyone moans about games over Christmas, and in January we used to do like a 2-week pre-season and then have games within that. And we were like, what are we doing? And Alex Ferguson say he knows that this will benefit us more than these 2 games that you're going to have in these 2 weeks. So this will benefit us in the run-in to the season.
I'll take that.
Oh, it was horrible.
I'll take that. Pre-season again after Christmas.
I'd be open and playing if
Sundays.
protesters come in that day every day.
No, but you be going into the games tired, Doms, and you going into the games like, and then you get through them, but the benefit of that towards the end of the season was massive, yeah. So who's retired? Just the 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Semi.
Semi. I'm going nowhere just yet.
He's got one arse cheek out.
How did you find it with retirement when you retired?
But not trying to play the violin. I used to look at people when they retired and go, I got depression when I retired. I think, what the fuck have you got depression for? You smashed it, you won all kinds of world titles, multi-millionaire. How have you got depression? But then it's weird, and it was Tasha Jonas made a good saying, or said a good saying, or repeated it, and it's the athlete dies twice. And listen, you're fucking Wayne Rooney, so it mightn't be as hard as such, because you're always going to have that identity, but people bumping into you, not saying you're a fat bastard, but saying, what are you up to now? It's like, it's not people bumping into me going, you're looking fucking heavy now. It's like, what are you up to now? You're like, I'm retired, mate, and like, I'm not fighting no more. You're in the punditry, yeah, doing this bit, managing this kid, training that kid, but you lose that identity of being the footballer or the fighter or the boxer, and that's where it gets a bit. You deal with it now. Like, I'm used to it now, know it now. It's well better place now, well better mentally inside. But at the time, it's the weirdest thing in the world to explain.
I think for me, it's again, I don't want to play no violin, but I think it massively depends on how good a career you had. Like yourself, you're unbelievable, and you can probably sit back and think, no, what, I couldn't have done much better. So you're probably happy with it. Whereas I look at it sometimes and think, because I didn't win a world title, whether I looked at like starting off my amateur background and stuff, I think I was probably expected to, and the fact that I didn't still bothers me. Even now I can't sit and lie and say, oh, I wasn't that fussed. It bothers me, but I'd never go as far as saying I was depressed, because I was happy. My personal life, got a boss wife, kids, got a boss family. I've always been happy, but it still bothers me, just that competitiveness. I can't lose the competitiveness, so there's a massive void in my life what I'll never get back. But I do feel now, being a coach, it's as close as you can get. It's not the same, but it's...
Well, I was the same, and I went straight into coaching. I was playing one day and went in at Derby, then went in the next day as manager. Yeah. So I've got my teammates. They were my teammates yesterday, and then now I'm the manager. So then straight away I've gone in. They're like, "What should we call you?" Call me what you want. I'm not really bothered when you call me. But then,
we won't look at it that way.
This was mid-December. Then January, I'm calling players in, telling them I don't want them. With my teammates,
that must have been hard, that.
Yeah,
2-3 weeks ago. So then, it was after the Birmingham job. That's when probably the first time it hit me, where I was in the house and I was just thinking, I was there and I dropped the kids off at school and come back, and I sat in watching like daytime TV and just
what now?
And whatever, and it was like, this is mad and weird. And then I got the Plymouth job, and then after Plymouth, I think just because I put my mind at ease really and thought, no what, it's very unlikely I'm going to go back into that, so now I can actually put all that aside and then start something new. And that's when I went into the punditry. So I'm fine now, but after that Birmingham one was for about 6 months, I struggled with them.
Do you feel it more comfortable with the punditry side? You can sort of pick and choose and get time in between, but as you say, with a management job, it's probably full on. It's as
management,
yeah. Full on, well,
obviously, I didn't see my kids for month to month when I was living in DC, and then at Plymouth, I lived there by myself. So you see them if you're lucky once a week, if you're lucky. So yeah, I lived away, but I think going into the punditry work it's not every day. Obviously, match days or weekends. Amazon's every Tuesday, which could be you fly Monday, do the game, fly back Wednesday, which is 3 days.
Get most of the week home.
Just find me podcaster from home.
Is that where you do the podcast from? Yeah, from the house.
From my home, yeah. So
I've watched a few of them.
And then I've got more time now to go and watch my kids play and be around that more. So yeah, happy with it.
Any jobs going for when I do retire?
Got a big garden there, needs mowing. Massive. That's a picture of the garden, haven't you?
Blow the leaves off, yes. One of them blowers. Oh no, but look, it'd be unbelievable having you, and we appreciate you coming down. So, nice one, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Nice one, mate. Bye, mate.